Aloha! This semester I chose to read the book Boom Start, Super Laws of Successful Entrepreneurs by Gary Rhodes, Michael Swenson, and David Whitlark. Right now I'm going to provide you with a summary of the book so that way it can either pursue you to want to read it or maybe you can just learn from what I learned. As you can probably maybe guess, there are some super laws or some steps that the authors give in order for entrepreneurs to be successful in their startups. The first one is sharpening an angle. The second one is riding horses. The third one is playing big. Fourth, hosting an event. And 5, reaping the rewards. Each of these steps has different characteristics in them that help you adapt for your business and take into consideration maybe the possibilities and for your company and the changes you need to make in order to achieve those possibilities. The book is really centered on how to make every company and every entrepreneur successful. It can apply to everyone, whether or not you own or are starting a startup. So I learned a lot of lessons from this book, but the 3 most impactful ones were first, if I'm not looking to go big, then I should just go home. One of the main themes I got of this book is that in order to be big, you have to act big. And the idea is that you have to be able to take large risks in order to get large rewards. And this is something that I don't practice in my own life. I like knowing my outcome before I make a choice. And so this is something that's really difficult for me, but it's impactful because it kind of teaches me about the difference between successful and unsuccessful entrepreneurs. Second is sharpening the angle of a business to allow for it to become unique. For example, I'm in a food service business, and that's not very unique in and of itself, but what I can do is sharpen my angle to a certain aspect of my business and really advertise that. So when customers see it, they don't see what they see all the time. Rather, they see something that maybe attracts them or makes them wonder, oh, I wonder what that's all about, rather than, oh, I know exactly what I'm getting myself into. The third most impactful lesson I learned was that a product does not have to be perfect in order for it to launch. The book was really specific about this. It said that in order for your product to be successful, the customers have to know what your product is. And if you don't launch it, then there's no way for them to really test and try it out themselves. And those things could be really, really beneficial for your company. So this relates to Brooklyn Brew Baker Bakes because the book requires all entrepreneurs, and me specifically, to step outside my comfort zone to achieve growth. There is no way for people to reach a lot of success unless they're willing to take a few risks, and some of those may be big risks. So this relates to my company because it's the complete opposite of what I've chosen to do, and this just means that maybe I need to change a little bit so that I can be able to be successful by following the 5 laws of the author's book. Second, the authors urge entrepreneurs to consider hiring people outside the family. This relates to Brooklyn Brew Baker Bakes because my partner is my husband, so obviously he is in the family. So again, the book suggests something that I don't do, and maybe this requires that I change something. The things that are super interesting about this book is, again, it can apply to everyone, and it forces people to think outside of the box. So it's not what you get when you normally read an entrepreneurship book. So from this, I have decided to change my business a little bit, which will probably be really beneficial. So first, I'm going to hire a partner other than my husband. I'm sure my husband will have close ties to the business as I am his wife, the CEO. But I think it's important to have someone who not only supports me, but challenges me in my business. Second, I want to host an event that attracts customers and gives existing customers the ability to market my business for me. Because nobody's going to trust me, but they're going to trust people who have used my product. So I think that will be really beneficial in helping me gain new customers. Third, I need to make Brooklyn Brew Baker Bakes scalable to other companies. So I've always tended to be comfortable with keeping my business local, but I've learned that that might not be the most beneficial thing for me. I've learned that it's really important to go big, especially after reading this book. And I want to be able to do that for my company so that I can reach my full potential. Because startups really have a lot of potential, but when you aren't willing to go for them, you're going to fail. So my whole goal after reading this book is to launch my business. It's time for me to do it. Even though my product isn't perfect, it'll help me learn how to make it perfect. So I need to launch.